One of the more technical things they ask you to do is to change one of the columns, or the information in one of the columns, from a text entry to a different data type, or a numerical entry into a different data type. And they word it quite in quite a complicated way. Essentially what it means is taking something like these here, so I'll use these as my demo one because they're on the end and it's nice and easy. Turn these into a numbered code. So if it says WASD, show it as 1, and if they show arrow keys, then show that as 2. So you could, like I did earlier, you could go through manually and go 1, 2, 2, 2, and so on. But that's prime for making a mistake. It's time consuming, and we can get the computer to do it for us. You'll notice Excel has tried to help me out and given me an extra column here called column 1. I'm not going to have it as column 1. I'm going to call it game player. Actually, I'll do it game movement code. Okay. So I've got that as an extra column. And what I want to do now is get the spreadsheet to look into this cell, and depending on what it says, give me a number here, either 1 or 2. So that's an if statement. It's not a count if. Count ifs are also really useful, but we're going to use just a basic if statement for this. So it's an equals to start with, and then it's if, and because we said if, we've got to open a bracket. So if, and it's based on what's in this box here. So if that box there, all right, normally you'd have a cell reference, but this is because this has come from the text file. It's done that, but it will still work the same way. You can also type in the cell reference if you like. So if, comma, if that is equal to, sorry, getting ahead of myself there, in quotation marks, WASD, because it's text, then, which is a comma, display number 1. So if it's not displaying WASD, we know that it's got to be displaying arrow keys because there's no other entries in here. If there were multiple entries, we'd have to do multiple versions of this. But because we know if it's not WASD, then it's going to be arrow keys. So if it's not a number 1, then it's got to be a number 2. So what we've got so far is if this cell here says the word WASD, or the letters WASD, then show the code 1. Otherwise, which is a comma, show the code 2. So I can close brackets, press enter. Now I think Excel's probably going to guess what I'm going to do. It's going to put it all the way down for me automatically. Yeah, there we go. So if you look, if it's WASD, it's 1. If it's arrow keys, it's 2. And it's done that right the way down. So that is how we turn text into a numerical value. You can also use it to do that the other way around. So if there's a number there, then show a word. I think they'll probably ask you to do it from a word to a number.